We're back at Russ's with the TVR and we've got some exciting updates. Not only have we had bearings arrive to fix up the Tesla motor, the interior of the car, and something that Dimmy is working on right now. And Russ has now fitted the heater, which we showed last week with the pipes, one going down to one footwell and the other going to the other footwell. But Dimmy, what are you up to here?
So we actually received the bushes for the rear battery pack.
Nice.
They are from a Scania truck.
No way.
Yeah, they're for the anti-roll bars, so you can imagine how overbuilt the Scanias are if TVR chassis is the same thickness.
Yeah, so they're basically going to be the rear box, which is somewhere over here.
The car.
There it is. So that one there with the bracket. So there's the bracket there, and that will be nice and snug there. This still needs to be cut out though, and we're going back a section. But yeah, that is certainly going to be strong enough to keep that battery box in place, isn't it?
There we go.
Nice. Nice. Looking good. The main reason why we're all here today, and for this specific video, was to reassemble the Tesla motor. So we've got, I don't even know what these parts are called. So that's
the rotor.
That's the rotor. Yeah, so that's the rotor. That's the
stator.
What's it called?
Stator.
Stator.
Rotor, rotate, stator, stay stationary.
There's all the copper wiring and stuff here.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they're the three phases.
The three phases going in. That looks very standard to almost any three phase I've ever looked at. Any three phase motor. This is quite special.
Yeah.
This is very special.
And we had the bearings arrive from EV Shop, so shout out to EV Shop. Bear in mind we've had this Tesla motor for quite a number of years, and they've kind of sent us the bearings. Very kind of them. And you've already fitted one of the bearings.
Yeah, this is the ceramic bearing on the end, non-conductive.
Yep. And you've also fitted a bearing to.
Yep, that's right.
This one here.
The tail bearing on that.
Yeah, we've got one more bearing to fit.
That's
I think
right. I'm just washing this now.
there was a bearing there, but we've not played around with that because it doesn't need changing.
It's very difficult to get out because it's been centre popped in.
Yeah.
So
We'll leave
I
that
wouldn't
alone.
like to remove that. It's a very good bearing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a roller bearing. Clean, doesn't make any noises.
There we go. And we're cleaning it now just to get all the crap off it
Get any dust off.
with engine degreaser.
Yep.
And then we're going to be fitting the last bearing and fitting it all together.
Yep. Shouldn't take long.
And while we've been away, Russ has actually not only fitted the heater and been finishing off the interior dash, but also removed the cradle, because we're going to have to adjust the cradle, essentially, somehow.
Talk to you about that.
So we've now got the rotor bearing in
Yep.
with the circlip. So this is the oil return.
Yeah, this is the that's it. This is the feed.
What was up with the way that it was before? Just so, because I didn't really explain it before
It's
last time,
upside
did I?
down.
So yeah, so it's
They
upside
have
down.
the gearbox upside down to what Tesla designed.
So the oil wasn't quite getting to the bearing. So these are the in and out return and the drain, which Russ has actually added to the plate. So we've got oil going to the right place now. And also fill. You look, he's stamped it in exactly what it does, so there's no confusion.
The other beautiful thing is we can get rid of the expansion tank, since we retained the original.
I don't think it ever needed.
So this is a different motor, it's a Model 3, but it's got the breather at the top. So if you've got a Tesla, please do not drive it in the river, because this is the breather for the gearbox, for the whole unit.
Say that.
So yeah, we retained that. So the gearbox breathes now, so any excess pressure differences in and out, that's easy. And we can actually put a set amount of oil in the unit and just forget about it. Run it as a closed loop, which the original motor does, so
Okay.
that's all good.
It's quite good seeing it actually now without the motor in, because you see the prop shaft there, which is actually held with the bungees, keeping it in place. Beautiful. With a little bit of persuasion from our friend, Mr. Hammer. What's that?
Silver. So it's got that small, where's it at?
Oh, yeah.
Gear. Basically, like on a normal car. just knows the
And what's
degrees of the motor.
right? Okay, and that's to understand where the phases are, basically, right?
Yeah, which phases to
And
fire.
which way it's going.
Yeah. So there's one of the bolts there. So what's that actually connected? Is that
It just clamps the bearing in. You've got a roller bearing here, you see, that has no idea how to stop the shaft going like this
yeah?
for expansion and things like that. And this one clamps it at the end to fix it. So you've got a ball bearing at this end and a roller bearing at that end.
It's a pretty tough motor. The fact that it's like turning the prop shaft and the rear diff. It's pretty. Well, I know it's not supposed to, but
It's just a lazy intermediate gear. This is, it usually does nothing, just passes power.
yeah.
It literally just steps the rotational speed down. That's all it does, and they've retasked it.
So just showing there's a QR code that's been stamped on this motor, and also
Laser engraved.
laser engraved, is it? Oh yeah. That's really impressive. It tells you what motor it is
Quality.
front. Yeah, quality.
They could track down
Every
how it
metal part. So you've got a number here, and I think there's a QR code somewhere as well, isn't there? Yeah, there's a sticker with a QR code.
It's all traceability to the machine.
We think that this motor has had a bit of a hard life, maybe, because of the burn marks on.
Yeah, heated up a few times.
There we go.
Oh, that's the bearing going in.
Is it potential damage, or is it just because it's got hot?
It's just got, because it got hot. There is a bit of warpage, but it's nothing major.
No. Okay.
As long as it doesn't touch the inside of that, we're all right.
As long as there's no scratch marks.
No,
Yeah.
It's finished. It's absolutely lovely inside, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is old technology.
Yeah, that's right.
So what we're using, just a normal gasket.
Not normal. Everyone seems to talk about this one.
Permatex.
There's Optimum.
Optimum. Okay.
There's an Ultimate as well, but the Optimum, oddly, is supposed to be better than the Ultimate.
Well,
It's up to him.
yes, exactly.
The one we're not using,
This bearing, yeah.
take the inner out, we just need it. This goes on really nicely, look.
That seems
It's a
good.
bastard.
Is it?
Yeah, it came out all right. So that's a EV shop special, isn't it? That bit.
Well, yeah, that whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to go through there.
Where are we? There we go.
Yeah, so they machined this out.
Yeah.
It used to come out here. So for anyone that doesn't know, Russ has a Newton meter wrench in his hand. He knows the exact spec. Off by heart.
Tell you what I did get off.
Oh, what's that?
Look at that for a posh bugger.
Wow, that's
Insulated torque wrench.
God.
Nice.
Just to keep you happy, I'll leave it out. That'll make you jealous.
Oh.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I just used electrical tape on a normal one.
As I did for years.
Starting to take shape. So yeah, because they'll be going to the 3 holes, and then just that on top, isn't it?
Yeah. Need to remember this pipe.
Yeah. So this sprays oil from the little ears there, and on there.
And these will be torqued down.
We can play with that.
We're good.
This way.
Where shall I come?
Right, someone. Oh, I could see down the middle. I can guide. Oh, let's get that one in.
Oh, it's stuck up.
There we go. How you do? Can you see it?
Yeah, if you hold it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
How's the
That's all good. Stop
temperature thingy? All right.
there. Yeah, going through. The screwdriver.
Just a second. Out.
Yeah.
Hang on. Locating pins. It's just got to sit on the pins. It's almost on them. It might just need a bit of help. Oh, not sitting on. Should just. There we go. Didn't need the persuader after all, so we can still get to that. That's good.
Yep.
But that clamps on the back. Yeah.
So does this stay stationary?
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just
why
the
it's
centre
called a
that.
stay tool.
Okay.
He's not got it yet. Has he?
No, like I said, it
stay
was a rough
tool
night
is
last night.
stationary, and the rotor rotates. but it's
Got
so close. I mean, this is where they get the power from, how close those parts are, you see.
Wow.
All of this is just a big loss.
Yeah, that's right.
Loss.
Not doing anything. This
Right.
is where the magnetism is,
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah.
So it's really just that piece
Yeah.
of motor doing all the work.
This is old tech, as Jimmy said earlier. All these little thin wires. Different springs going to drop in there. Put it in there. There we go.
So I've just put the encoder on top of the bearing. You can see the bearing just underneath there, just about. And then this goes on top, which is the sensor
that's why the big
to understand
holes.
where the
Guides.
phases are.
Got guides on it. Understand now.
And then the we've got the plug to go in there.
Yeah, that plug goes to the inverter and since
That's it.
remote.
Okay, so we've just fitted the last kind of internal part, which is the spray bar. So oil comes out of these and cools the motor down.
Right way up.
And now it's the right way up, as it was facing the wrong way last time with the motor being the wrong way around. And now it's just a question of popping the top on. So we've just done all the sealant.
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, that
I
looks
can
good.
see
That
the-
is.
I can see the bolt lines, yeah. There we go. Beautiful.
Like a glove.
Persuader.
The persuader.
Persuader.
I like just the plate, which is over there.
So we've got the cradle out the engine bay or transmission tunnel.
Or motor bay.
Motor bay, yeah. So yeah, this is where the motor sat. This is the actual end plate from the motor now,
Yeah.
which has been welded onto here. So we need to figure out how to either detach it or reuse it. Basically, what we want to do with the motor is to add some dampers, just rubber mounts, to isolate it from the rest of the vehicle, so the vibration from the motor doesn't go onto the chassis and doesn't brick itself. So actually, with this cradle, they picked up on the transmission mounts and the engine mounts.
Yep.
Now the biggest issue is they are just hard mounted, so there's no rubber bushes or anything. We want to add the rubber bushes back in, so we're either going to do that on this cradle, so where the transmission was and the engine mount was. So we're either going to do that, or we're going to add the rubber bushes to the mount of the motor.
Do something with this end.
Yeah, with here and here somehow. But that's yet to be decided because we want to make sure that we can take the motor out if we need to, which currently we couldn't do.
No.
No.
Without jumping up and down on it.
Yep. Yeah, without a little persuasion
Yes.
on the 100 kilos. Need to figure out what we're going to do here, and also have a look in the motor bay, what we can do there. But at least we've got some sort of reference point. So for example, the reference point where the motor has to be located, we can take it from the transmission mount,
Yeah.
and the holes here is the prop shaft, drive shaft. It can move back and forth, but it's not a lot.
So that is the next quandary on the TVR build, which we'll have an update on, I hope, next time.